So I just finished watching Season 9, Episode 2 of Doctor Who. And this will not be a regular thing where I talk about every episode of Doctor Who, but I talked about the premiere, and because it was a two-parter, I felt it was right to talk about the second episode, which made this first episode better. The cliffhanger at the end was resolved right at the beginning, minus, like, what happens to the TARDIS, I guess. That happens at the end of the episode, but you know it's coming back. It's Doctor Who. You're not having Doctor Who without the TARDIS. It's just not gonna happen. Even back when the Third Doctor was stranded on Earth, he still had the TARDIS. It was just time-locked by the Time Lords. Which is somewhat relevant because, as I mentioned in the previous review, Doctor Who is having this massive trend right now of going back to stories that have to do with the original. And this one, parts of it felt a little rehashy of one of the Fourth Doctor's episodes where he has the chance to just eliminate the Daleks from ever being made. In this episode, the 12th Doctor has the chance to destroy all the Daleks, or at least he thinks he does, and he chooses not to. And there's just this chemistry between the Doctor and Davros, which I really, really liked, because it giving your villains heart or compassion makes them all the more real and scary. And this is the first time I felt like the Daleks were genuinely scary. I know people who loved seeing the Daleks because they even thought they were adorable, which, honestly, to a degree, they kind of are. I mean, they're a tin can with blinking lights on them going, "Exterminate!" Which is kind of a funny concept. It's very 1960s. But this was the first time that I also really thought that the 12th Doctor felt true compassion toward Clara. It did not come across a lot in the previous season. I thought that the 11th Doctor and Clara had good chemistry, but as soon as he regenerated into the 12th, there was... I mean, I guess Missy puts it the best. It seemed almost more like Clara was a pet or a companion than an actual friend. But they really, and I hope they stick to this, because I know this is Clara's last season. At least that's what they have said. But I thought that the Doctor and Missy have great chemistry. I thought that Clara and Missy have great chemistry. And I would really, really love... Either they've got to go all the way, make Missy a companion, or they've got to use her very sparingly and make her a special treat for the fans. Because I really love every time. Well, I was a little iffy last season when they brought her in. But so far, both episodes this season, I thought she was amazing. And just so much fun to watch. And that's another thing, is like, so far this season, old villains of the Doctor have come around and have been almost more of a friend to the Doctor. Not entirely, but it's definitely an interesting aspect that we haven't seen, I think, in the modern Doctor Who. And this episode did so much more to go into the mind of a Dalek than, like, there was an episode last season where they literally went inside a Dalek. And it was kind of not great of an episode, but this one did such a better job of conveying it, and I think that might be part of the reason why they did it. I'm really scared for the rest of the season, because this two-part episode seemed almost more like a finale story than it did a season opener. So I'm hoping they didn't just blow everything, their best story right at the beginning. Usually the finales are really good, but I guess we'll just have to see 10 more episodes until that, I think. So I guess I'm less worried about the finale and more worried about what's in the middle. I feel like they kind of potentially set up the finale in this episode, but it's hard to say with Doctor Who. I guess that's kind of my thoughts on the episode. I'm looking forward to watching more. I wish they would, I don't know how I feel about the sunglasses yet. I'll leave that. Because I'm a big fan of the sonic screwdriver. And that I'm going to leave that vague for people who haven't watched the episode yet. But anybody who has watched the episode will know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I guess that's kind of my thoughts on the two-parter. Looking forward to more. Cautiously optimistic about more. Beyond that, let's have a good season of Doctor Who. Let's see what's to come. Hopefully it's more new. Hopefully it's more good.